kind friends all gathered round. There's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside. Strangers are as family, and loneliness can't hide. Give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and the laughter. Won't you give yourself to love? Give yourself to love. Love is born of fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. Give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and the laughter. Won't you give yourself to love? Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, learned to love the land, been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. Won't you give yourself to love? If love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and the laughter. Won't you give yourself to love? Give yourself to love. It's a beautiful Kate Wolf song. I see some of y'all singing it. Let's sing that chorus again. Give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your heart to the tears and the laughter. Won't you give yourself to love? Give yourself to love.
Wasn't that great? Let's breathe that in for a moment. Just one good, just. Thanks for sharing that moment with me and y'all, all right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. I'm Seneca, and on behalf of Reverend Rainbow, our council, our congregation, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sitting in. Who we are. We are a conscious community committed to global transformation through personal evolution, right? We're also providing a loving space so we can let everyone know that we remember and we'll stand and know the truth of who we are. So wherever you are, on your spiritual path of discovery, know you're welcome here. Okay? Tuning in, you're welcome here. So click, tell everybody where you're at, tell everybody what you see, all right? Share, all right? Everybody here, okay? If you're sitting around, somebody says something that is, you just can't get off your heart, get your phone out, take a picture, write it down, post it, all right? Let people know why, okay? If you're a first-time guest, we especially welcome you, all right? And know that your presence here makes a difference, all right? Is there anybody here for the first time? All right? Awesome. All right. So somebody from our council is going to get you a card so we can make contact with you. After service, take that into our bookstore. We'll have something for you. You're going to love it. Okay. All right. Now, if you haven't been here before, maybe you haven't, you didn't know about Mitch Barrett, but we're happy and thankful to welcome you back. All right. Mitch Barrett is one of Kentucky's most sought-after and talented singer-songwriters. His approach to lyrical storytelling is true Americana. It's rooted in his authentic experience, not just some label's genre. Mitch draws from his Appalachian heritage and the values it instilled. An agrarian work ethic, simple living, the importance of family, celebrating the joys and struggles of everyday life through music and song, if you couldn't tell. Mitch has won several prestigious songwriting competitions and is also a music educator. And we are grateful to have him here today. All right. Look at that picture. It's glorious. All right. Like to read our affirmation with me? All right. Ooh. Take that in, all right? I let my gentleness reveal my giant self. Ooh, y'all are fantastic. All right. All right. Now we're going to take a moment and do some centering. Not with a song for the moment. We're going to go into some sound before prayer. Let's take a moment.
As we hear the sound and the vibration of the beautiful bowl that Seneca plays, we know that our vibration reverberates throughout the cosmos, that vibration of love from which we are created. For love is truly what we are. Created by love, for love, as love. We are the embodiment of that. And we are blessed. We are blessed by that love. By the love of each other as we gather today, by the love for creation, for one another, blessed by our guest speaker, Reverend Kris Alexander, our guest musician, Mitch Barrett. Blessed by Reverend Rainbow, holding her in special blessing this morning as she and her family spend time together. Blessed by all the hearts and hands that come here to create this sacred space that we know as Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. I simply let this be knowing all is truly well by saying, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone. Grand Rising. That was an absolutely exquisite meditation. I was over there about to pass out. It was wonderful. Wonderful. So now let's get the reading. Oh, by the way, my name is Corbo, she, they pronouns. Today's reading comes from A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. And the character that I will be reading from is Mosscap the Robot. So this is what Mosscap the Robot says. I don't have a purpose any more than a mouse or a slug or a thorn bush does. Why do you have to have one in order to feel content? Nothing has a purpose. The world simply is. You keep asking why your work is not enough, and I don't know how to answer that because it is enough to exist in the world and marvel at it. You don't need to justify that or earn it. You are allowed to just live. I have wants and ambitions too, but if I fulfill none of them, that's okay. Because I know that no matter what, I'm wonderful. Thank you.
That was fantastic.
Okay. Well, I'm blessed to have been invited here the first time and the second time, and I'm just eased in today. It's just like, I want to come here more. I want to come. This is a wonderful community, and I'm proud to be part of it. I can't remember what I sang last time. I can't remember what I sang yesterday, or a while ago. So I'm going to just do like I do. I used to write my songs on little magnets, and I had like a cookie sheet, and I just put them on the cookie sheet, and I'd just bring that with me, and I could glance down and say, oh, you have written some songs. Because you pick up the guitar, and you're just like, do I know any songs? I've been doing this 40 years. Anyway, this one came to me. I was working in Louisville with some young folks that were institutionalized, outgrown the adoption system. And some of them would be there until they were old enough to go on to prison and things like that. But I was there for 3 months. And usually when I start a residency, I tell them about myself a little bit, and then I try to get to know them, and hopefully we get just a safe place built where they'll open up and talk about their stuff. But anyway, about the second month, they were like, well, we've told you everything about ourselves. Tell us about yourself. So I was trying to put into words what it was, just write a little song about where I came from, what I was doing. So I'll see if I can remember it. Woke up in the morning, I dressed myself, looked in the mirror, saw someone else. Tried to ignore it, just let it be. My face don't show it, but this ain't me. It's off to work and bills to pay. It can't be normal to live this way. Is it so important we get things done? Is life this hard for everyone? I don't believe. I don't believe. When I was young, I was taught to fear the wrath of God and the end was near. Go to church and hear them preach of wailing tongues and gnashing teeth. When I'd get home, I'd run to the woods where I wasn't afraid of bad or good. No devils, angels, blame or shame. Nobody dying in Jesus' name. I don't believe. I don't believe. Now I'm an artist, my ex-wife is too. Our kids stay home when they go to school. We teach them that life is when you breathe, free from guilt and free from greed. Love thy neighbor, love thyself. This can be heaven or this can be hell. I think life's beautiful, but it's your choice. You can grit your teeth or you can raise your voice and sing. I believe. 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 People get ready. There's a train coming.
Another wow. All right. I have the pleasure of reading this amazing bio from Reverend Kris Alexander. Reverend Kris Alexander is a meta-minister of Soul Evolution Collaborative, the Global Themes Coordinator for Centers of Spiritual Living, and the Curriculum Development Specialist for Circles USA. She's a visionary catalyst pioneering the path of possibility and social transformation through universal principles. As a spiritual alchemist and global change agent, she unapologetically embraces her role of truth teller. Reverend Kris is dedicated to exploring the intricate intersection between the mystical and the mundane, together with the sacred and the profane. With a remarkable ability to hold paradoxes and perceive life from multiple perspectives, she champions the power of honest, love-infused communities. Reverend Kris's unwavering commitment to authenticity forms the foundation for building genuine connections, creating an environment where truth and wholeness can thrive. But this dedication drives her to engage in crucial and often challenging conversations necessary for fostering positive change. Curiosity is a guiding light in her journey, and we know about that here. All right. Reverend Kris firmly believes in the fundamental rights of all individuals: freedom, love, respect, equality, safety, and happiness. And she strives to embody these values in every facet of her life. To dive deeper into her insights and explore her body of work, visit her website, reverendkris.org.
Ooh, my bios never sounded so good. I'm like, I want to know that person. Oh my God, that song was so perfect. I was like, oh, it's like we communicated in some realm to know what we were going to be, what the message was today. So my name is Reverend Kris Alexander. If you don't know me, my pronouns are she or they, and I invite you to use both with wild abandon when speaking about me. I wanted to let y'all know, I've guest spoken at this point at a fair few centers, and I'm pretty sure that this was like the most welcoming welcome I've ever gotten from a center walking through the door for the first time. So, and I know that that's what y'all are about. So I wanted to let y'all know that it shows up. What you're about, it's the walk and the talk. So, Today, my talk is Your Gentleness is Showing. And I just want to throw a little shout out. I brought my friend, a practitioner and the administrator at Center for Spiritual Living Asheville, April Connor, with me. And she actually wrote the global themes this month. So, so that affirmation that made you all go, oh, yeah, that was April. That was her affirmation. So I'm going to start by telling y'all the worst part about being a minister. Are you ready? And probably Reverend Rainbow has told you this before. The worst part about being a minister is that when you decide you're going to give a message, you then have to live through whatever the message is so that you can effectively give the message in an authentic manner. And that meant that this past week was really challenging for me, and I got to practice gentleness with myself, and I hated every second of it. I'm just gonna let you know. I was so annoyed because I had deadlines, I had projects, I had things to do, places to be, people to see, all of the things, and none of that worked out for just so many reasons. And then I had to be gentle with myself. Just was so brutal. And I was like, who decided to let me speak on the Gentleness Month? Couldn't I have spoke on a cool month or something? So I'm here to tell y'all a little bit about being gentle with yourself. And this whole month is Giant Gentleness. And so you're going to be learning all kinds of things about gentleness, some of which you probably know. You probably know all of it. Whether you do it or not is a whole other thing, right? But we can't be gentle outside of ourselves until we're gentle with ourselves. I know, so obnoxious. So I had this idea. I'm going to just tell y'all a little bit about me. I have been dedicated to spirituality my whole life, really. I, grew up very fundamental Christian, and I was all about that world until I wasn't. I was, that kid in Sunday school asking the questions where they were just like, oh my God, could you just not? I'm going to just need you to be a little less whatever this is, right? But I bought all in. I loved God as this experience of something bigger than myself, right? And then even when I stopped believing in that sort of Christian God and framework, I still was like, there's something out there. And so I didn't go to church on Sunday mornings for about a year or two as I kind of made the transition, but I missed it. And so I started going to church again, and I went to a Unity, which is, sisterhood of, a siblinghood of Science of Mind and Centers for Spiritual Living, and I brought my son and all of this. I hated it the first Sunday because I grew up very staunch Christian, and they were clapping in church. Excuse me. But then I went all in, and I had really struggled my whole life. I wouldn't have told you this at the time, but looking back, hindsight is 2020. I really struggled with my mental health. I had pretty significant anxiety and depression, my whole life, and didn't really realize it. And then after I had my son, I had postpartum depression, like you do, and got on antidepressants, like you do. And nobody really supported me through that process. It was just kind of this, my doctor threw some pills at me and said, you'll be fine. And I got into Unity, and then I healed myself through the power of spirituality and meditation, and I got off all of my medication. This was my story for a really long time. And then I went about my merry way, struggling and striving to be happy with a brain that just decided that serotonin wasn't a thing that it needed to be a part of. But I healed myself with the power of spirituality and meditation. And then a couple of years ago, and every time I would have a bout of depression, like severe depression, I would have a reason. Oh, well, it's because I'm with this person, and this person just isn't very good for me, but we're going to stay together for another 7 years. Or I don't know if anybody else has done that. Or, well, I just don't like where I live, or I hate this job, or my boss sucks, or what I always, excused it away. This isn't what I thought I was going to talk about at all. I don't even know why I'm looking at my notes because it's not on there. I excused it all away, all the depression, as a reason. And then I became a minister, and I got my dream job. I was the senior minister of a center just 9 miles from the White House, just outside of D.C., and I was going to be a minister to the politicians the way that Michael Bernard Beckwith is a minister to the stars, and I was going to change the country. And then I met my now spouse, and I had this amazing relationship, and I had this beautiful home, and everything was all so amazing, and I was so depressed I couldn't get out of bed. And I was like, crap. This isn't working. And so then I started taking medication, which I'm very medicated to be here in front of y'all today. Big fan of pharmaceuticals and therapy, y'all. And meditation. All of it. And that was the point at which I had to say, oh, maybe forcing myself to be some sort of way that I think I'm supposed to be a spiritual being, isn't actually working very well for me. So I got on antidepressants. They worked for a while until they didn't, and then I got on more antidepressants. And at that point, that was really when, and this is pretty recent. Like, I'm just now starting to kind of feel like me again, whatever that means. And then I got really angry that I had bought into this idea that I needed to be a certain specific thing to be deemed good enough, and that I had spent so much of my life fighting so hard because I had made up a story about the way that I should be. And the 11th commandment is thou shalt not should upon thyself. And yet, oh man, I did that. And the other thing that I bought into, which was where I was trying to go at the beginning of all of this, is that I had this idea that if I wasn't happy and productive and doing the things and changing the world and being the person and always up and, very friendly and da-da-da-da-da, and FOMO, big FOMO, fear of missing out, right? All of that I was wasting my life. Has anybody ever bought into this idea of that it's possible to waste your life? Yeah. I hope I'm not the only one. If so, whoa, we have a whole other problem going on, right? Because we've been taught from, the womb that our value, our worth is tied into our productivity. And you look around and you see it in the gig society. Boy, howdy, I have tried to monetize every hobby that I pick up. I started crocheting, and as soon as I could crochet a line that didn't look like crap, I was like, I could make money doing this. I could make blankets, I'll sell them, I'll be a crochet artist. That was 2 months. I think it worked for 2 months. And then I picked up diamond art, which isn't even really artistry. You're just following, it's like, color by numbers, right? Except with little like plastic beads. And I was like, I could sell these. I'm going to be a diamond artist, and I'm going to make $1 million every time. And that's that idea, that belief that our worth, our value is tied up in our productivity. So I'm just going to let you know, it's a lie. You are worthy, period. You could lay in bed all day and do absolutely nothing and watch Netflix and eat, insert your favorite food here, and drink, insert your favorite drink here, and become a banana slug, you could become one with your couch, and you are still worthy and valuable. Period.
You are too.
I know, right? Thank goodness. Because I really had to remind myself that I am too this past week as I banana slugged on the couch. And so I just want to let you know it's impossible. You can't waste your life. You are living your life. And that's what Moscap in this book, A Psalm for the Wild Bill, is telling us. Now, I was told to give a plug for this book, but luckily I was already going to do that. Y'all have copies of this book, A Psalm for the Wild Bill, in your bookstore. There's only 3 copies, so y'all better run to be the first 3 people to buy this book. But you can also get it on Amazon or wherever books are sold, right? And this book is Gentleness in book form. This book is reading a hug. That is how I describe it to people. It is. It's like reading a hug. And the genre is hope punk. So most people have heard of steampunk, right? And hope punk is the genre that says, but what if it all works out? What would the future look like if it actually all just worked out? And so Becky Chambers, the author of this book, is amazing. I have literally read every single thing that she has written that I can find on the internet, and that's what she talks about. And so Moscap is an enlightened robot who is telling a monk, a non-binary monk named Sibling Dex, about, the meaninglessness of life, and the whole book is just that. It's so good. It's so good. And this book reminds me that gentleness is the thing. It does. So, you can't waste your life. Moscap told you in this book. Amy Steinberg says it in her song Purpose. She says the purpose of living is life. The purpose of life is living. I don't know, she says it one way or the other, right? That's it. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're alive, done. You've already done it. You have fulfilled your purpose. You are living. And Neil Donald Walsh, in his little teeny tiny book that almost nobody's heard of, The Bringers of the Light, the very first thing he says in that book is I had it until I said I was going to say it. Life is pointless, and that is God's greatest gift to us. Life is pointless, and that is God's greatest gift. Because here's the thing, when life is pointless, you can just breathe for a second. You don't have to always be creating. You don't always have to be productive. You don't have to prove that you're valuable or worthy of the air that you're breathing or the body that you're inhabiting or the people that support you. You can just be, and that is enough. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this is not the easiest thing for me to practice all the time. I really enjoy being a productive person. I enjoy people telling me how wonderful I am. I enjoy putting things out for people to use and do and have and all of that. And so when I'm not doing that, I still struggle just a little bit with, but I should be. And here's the other really obnoxious thing about my life is I'm married to a minister. And I can't get away with anything. And in fact, this week when I was bitching and moaning about how I wasn't getting anything done, they said, well, but aren't you, talking about, I was like, shut up, I don't need you to tell me what I'm talking about this weekend. Ugh. I can't get away with anything. And anytime I forget, they remind me, and anytime they forget, I remind them, and I'm sure that they would say that it's just as obnoxious as I'm telling you. But we get to remind each other that we have permission to just be. So, I want to tell you about somebody else who's going to support you in this, and that is Tricia Hersey, the NAP minister. Has anybody ever heard? I'm seeing some nods. Yes. So good, y'all. So Trisha Hersey, she calls herself the nap minister. She has a nap ministry, and she basically says that rest is resistance. That's the name of her book. It's a manifesto on the rest as resistance. And she says so many things, y'all, but she says a couple of things. She says, we must believe we are worthy of rest. We don't have to earn it. It is our birthright. It is one of our most ancient and primal needs. And how often do we tell ourselves, I can rest after I do X, Y, Z? Well, I'm tired now, but I just need to fold the laundry and do the dishes and take the dog out. Well, maybe take the dog out still, but, I need to do this and do that, and I have to pick up, and I can't possibly lay down on the couch because there's dust on that bookshelf over there, and if I lay down on the couch, it's like I'm telling the universe that I'm just okay with dust in my house. Oh my gosh, right? But no, actually, rest is your divine birthright. It is actually what you're made for, is to just be. So she also says, release the shame you feel when resting. It does not belong to you. That shame that you feel when resting, it's not yours. You can just set it down. It doesn't belong to you. Just because somebody handed it to you doesn't mean you have to keep holding it. Thanks. And you can just walk away. You don't have to keep a gift just because it was given to you. If it's a crappy gift, put it down and keep going. And that shame you feel for being just who you are authentically, for resting, for knowing that you're valuable, that you're wonderful, just for being, set all that. It's not yours. It's not yours. And if you've been holding on to it because somebody important in your life gave it to you, I am right now giving you permission to just put it down. That person can be important even if you don't accept their gifts. Right? So rest. That, to me, resting, that's what being gentle with myself is. To me, when I'm having a hard time, instead of trying to push through, stopping, taking a breath, which Seneca so beautifully helped us model, which, let's take a breath. That's gentleness. And we get to just be gentle. So, I have a question for y'all. I have a couple questions. Did you have any hobbies or interests as a child? What were they? Shout some of them out. Horses. Flying a plane. Did you fly a plane, or were you just interested in flying a plane? Interested? Oh, very cool. Dead of winter, and the plane had no heater. Oh, what else? Oh, hold on. Drawing. Pottery. Oh, yeah. All right, here's my next question. Do you still do it? Yeah? No? I'm seeing some yeses. I'm seeing some nos. I'm seeing all, okay, well, y'all already know all this. I can just be done. If you don't still do it, why did you stop? Because I know for drawing, I enjoy drawing. I'm terrible at it. I have never, ever thought to myself, wow, I could monetize this. Never crossed my mind when it came to drawing. But if you stopped doing it, ask yourself why. Because often what I hear from people is, I don't have time. I'm not any good at it, so why bother? I can't, it doesn't do anything. There's no reason for it. It doesn't matter. What good is it doing? I have to be productive, right? No. So a amateur, which is what we all are in most of our hobbies, unless you're like an Olympian or a artist or you've monetized your hobby. Most of us are amateurs, and the word amateur comes as this idea of a person who is in love with the thing that they are doing. So we do things for the love of doing them. And that's enough. That's enough. That's all we need to do is just be in love with life. And if you're somebody like me who struggles with mental health, you can not be in love with life and you're still worthy and you're still valuable and it's still all good. So I follow this guy online on TikTok, obsessed with TikTok, y'all. I think TikTok is a magical, magical place that we should all hang out in. Maybe not all the time, but on occasion, if you hang out there all the time, you're still worthy. You're still valuable. You can still be gentle with yourself. I think TikTok is, I have given so many messages and so many talks based on something I learned on TikTok. I think that place is magical. So anyways, there's a guy on there called Abraham Piper, and he is, I don't know if he's a puzzle maker and an artist and a philosopher, and he just comes on and he just says things, and he says, I don't know. Come on, we'll just keep talking about it, right? He's wonderful. So in my depression, my anxiety, oh my God, I must be doing something that I'm not doing. I don't know what it is, but it's not this. I have learned that I really enjoy comforting nihilism. So nihilism is the idea that life is meaningless. There's no point. And comforting nihilism is allowing that to support you and to make you feel better about life. And it doesn't work for everyone, so if this doesn't work for you, it's just a gift. You can set it down and keep walking. But this really helps me. So Abraham Piper, in one of his TikToks, he talks about how there's no such thing as an incomplete life. So if somebody dies, regardless of when they die, if they die as a baby, if they die as an adult, we might say, oh, their life was so short, but we don't say their life was incomplete. They lived a whole life because that was their life, right? There's no such thing as a partial life. That's not a thing. They lived a whole life. So, because partial lives are impossible, and since we can technically die at any time, that means that every single moment your life is complete in that moment. Sitting here right now, your life is already complete. Because if you were to die in this moment, which none of us are, but if you were to die in this moment, we would, mourn you. We might say your life was too short, but we wouldn't say your life was partial or incomplete. You lived a whole life. So, if there's no such thing as an incomplete moment, and we can die at any moment, that means so that our life is complete at every moment. That means every moment is a bonus moment. And it doesn't really matter how you use it, because it's a bonus. It's like extra credit. You can do it or not. And that, to me, maybe that's like, oh, whoa, I don't want to go there. That's okay. Set it down, keep walking. But for me, that really helps me be gentle with myself. My life's already complete. I've already done my work. It's all good, so I can just be. And then I have ambitions. I have things I want to do. I have things I want to accomplish. And just like Moss Cap said in the Psalm for the Wild Built, if I don't accomplish them, that's okay. And even saying that out loud to y'all, my brain goes, no, it's not. Excuse me, you have a 5-year plan. You have SMART goals. You have a mission and a vision and a purpose, and you're here and you're doing the thing, and you have more things to do. Yes, and it's all bonus. I have lived a complete life. You have lived a complete life. And so every new moment is an opportunity to just enhance the completeness. You don't have to do something to prove that you are worthy of having the life that you have. So, to sum it all up, I am giving you permission to be gentle with yourself. But outside permission isn't really that supportive. So, I have something for y'all, and April, my friend April, and Corabelle are going to hand them out. They are permission slips. I am giving you a permission slip to be gentle with yourself. And actually, April, will you hand me one? Because I didn't actually keep one for myself. So this is an official permission to be gentle with myself. And look, you even sign it at the bottom. It requires your signature. This is the permission that you need from you, because you're the only one stopping you, to just treat yourself like you would treat a 2-year-old who's a little bit late for a nap. Not so late that they're like melting down, but late enough that you're like, let me tread a little lightly. You know those 2-year-olds. That's how gentle I want you to be. I want you to speak softly to yourself. And, when you spill something, you go, oh, it's okay, sweetie. We're just going to clean it up together. Mistakes happen. We're all human. You have permission to be human, as Colleen said to me earlier, and I've heard before, right? It's okay, honey. We'll fix it. I love you so much. There's nothing you can do that would make me not love you. My love for you is unconditional, right? That's how I want you to speak to yourself. I want you to speak like you would speak to your best friend. How would you tell your best friend that they are worthless for not meeting that deadline? Never, because it's your best friends. They can do no wrong. They're so wonderful. Look at how amazing they are. They're so adorable. You just love them. That's how you get to speak to yourself. That's how you get to speak to yourself. Allow yourself to be comfortable. We have all these ideas and these rules in place. Well, I have to do it that way. Well, why? Nobody's even, I can only sleep with, I don't know, this is a silly one, but I can only sleep with 2 pillows. Well, if you want 10 pillows, who's stopping you? Or, I can't wear pajamas to the grocery store. Why not? Who made up that rule? Just be comfortable. Just be comfortable. I always tell people when we're going to do really hard work, when I lead my grief group, or when we're going to be like processing stuff or doing like a really heavy like workshop, wear your pajamas, bring your teddy bear, bring a comforter, be comfortable. The least you can do if you're going to be doing processing hard emotional stuff is make your physical body comfortable. Drink some hot chocolate, just be comfortable. Give yourself that extra 5 minutes. Nobody's going to die if you take 5 more minutes than you were supposed to take. It's okay. You could just sneak in church late. I'm glad Reverend Rainbow's not here. Just give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. So, permission. This is a permission slip. And if you need a bigger reminder, by this afternoon on my website, revkris.org, there's a resource page, and there will be a full-page permission slip that you can download and print out in case you just need a bigger reminder. So let's read this, and you're going to put in your name in that blank spot. You're going to actually say your name out loud, and we're all going to say this together out loud, right? All right? You ready? I, Kris, am hereby granted sacred permission to be exceedingly gentle with myself. I have permission to rest, to speak kindly to myself, and to honor my needs and desires. I am worthy of profound comfort, kindness, and unconditional self-love. This gentleness is granted without cause and remains irrevocable for any reason, including, but not limited to, guilt, productivity, or merit. So y'all are going to sign this. If you're online, go to my website, revkris.org, resources page. It'll be down there along with a lot of other really cool stuff. So download your permission slip, hang it, frame it, put it up. Make multiple copies, hang them in every room of your house. Just be gentle with yourself. All right? This is your permission to be gentle with you. Let's pray. Let's take another deep breath. I feel like that breath is a good reminder of gentleness. And I know for myself that breath is the thing that reminds me that there is one thing going on. There is only the divine. There is only sacredness. There is only that God stuff. It is the planet, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, the multiverse. It is each and every one of us here. It is all of life. It is the organs and the systems and the cells and the atoms and the quarks and the little bitty tiny things that we don't even know about yet. It is all of it. We are made of the very building blocks of the divine. That is who and what we are, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so we just allow it to be true and know that because we are God's stuff, each and every one of us, we are made of God's stuff, that we can just rest and relax and allow ourselves to be fully, authentically, wonderfully messy and human, that we can just be gentle with ourselves because we're divine. We deserve gentleness because we simply are. We are valuable, we are worthy, we are inherently blessed and good and perfect, even in our messiness. We are God showing up as God to experience itself as God. We are the infinite playing with the infinite, relating to the infinite, conversing with the infinite. And we just allow ourselves to be that, and however it shows up. And so I just give great gratitude for this gentleness, for this ability to just pause and love ourselves and treat ourselves kindly and be good to ourselves. I give great thanks for this beautiful, beloved community that is so loving and so welcoming and truly embodies their name. I am so grateful for the gentleness that is already here. I am grateful that we just get to raise our awareness of the gentleness that is. And so I simply release my word. I let it go out into the stars where it turns into stardust and then rains back down upon us as blessing after blessing after blessing. I surrender it all, and so it is. Thank you.
I love you.
We love you.
Thank you. That's what I mean about coming here, but it's like, did she know I was dealing with all this stuff? It fits. And then I'm like, well, what am I going to sing next? Because that don't really make sense, but I don't have to. It's okay. This is a song I wrote with some 6th graders over in Wolfe County, if I can remember how it goes. We all live on a little blue pearl floating around the sun. There's nowhere to go. This is our world. This is the only one. We've looked all around the universe, trying to find a new worth. It's all dark matter and it really doesn't matter. We're all stardust at birth. Somebody send out an SOS. We need a guardian angel now. St. Peter's stuck at the traffic light. Gabriel, won't you blow your horn loud? So here we are, you and I, along with everything that breathes. It's a big, big world and a little bitty us, but we got everything we need. Okay, 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 you say. What are we supposed to do? Can somebody answer this question, please? Does anybody have a clue? Somebody send out an SOS. We need a guardian angel now. St. Peter's stuck at the traffic light. Gabriel, won't you blow your horn loud? Somebody call 911. We've fallen and we can't get up. Houston, we have a problem. I think the earth has had enough. We didn't heed the warning. Now the time has come to choose. The future's in our hands, still time to change a plan. There's way too much left to lose. I think I'll go out to my garden. Growing food is good for your health. Somebody once said, and it stuck in my head, if you want to change the world, change yourself. Somebody once said, and it stuck in my head, if you want to change the world, change yourself. Somebody send out an SOS. We need a guardian angel now. St. Peter's stuck at the traffic light. Gabriel, won't you blow your horn loud? Somebody call 911. We've fallen and we can't get up. Houston, we have a problem. I think the earth has had enough. I think the earth has had enough. Houston, we have a problem.
Well, happy Sunday, y'all. All right, now is our time for conscious giving. All right, let's take our gift in our hands, no matter what that is, whether it folds or it's filling out emotion and love and work. Okay, everything's a gift. We're all gonna give. Y'all ready? Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. We're going to hear a little bit more from Mitch. I don't think we're going to say no. But as we do, some members from our council are going to go around and gather and give thanks. And in this time, also keep remind you got permission, okay? You got permission. That's an awesome reminder.
I want to do this song for Reverend Rainbow in memory of her mother, Louise. Let's see if I can. I cry out into the night. Bitter thoughts, they choke my mind. Sometimes I feel so all alone, lost and helpless, hurt and blind. A restless sleep comes over me. and a golden light appears. The voice of music speaks to me, but not into my earthly ears. It sings, lay down and rest your soul. The universe inside you rings. I have come to take you home and bear you up on angel wings. Up we go into the night, earth and body following. There I find my home at last, in my soul's eternal day. Lay down, rest your soul. The universe around you rings. I have come to take you home and bear you up on angel wings. Then I come to earth again, and my friends are ever near, until the next time I forget, and they whisper in my ear. They say, lay down, rest your soul. The universe inside you sings. I have come to take you home and bear you up on angel wings. I have come to take you home and bear you up on angel wings. Thank you.
Many thanks. All right. Let's welcome our youth. All right. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Of you. You're a shining star. Wonderful.
Just the way you are, we celebrate your sacred face. We love you just the way you are. We love you just the way you are.
Okay, all right. Sage, do you want to share our affirmation?
Today's affirmation is I find spirit in nature.
Yeah, we talked about the eclipse, and we read a book about the water keepers and how water is life, and had a good time. And my boys have seen you before. They said, hey, he visited our school.
You went to Dixie one time, right?
Awesome. That's cool. All right, guys, let's head on back. Thank you, guys.
Thankful for the youth. They are tomorrow. All right. All right, y'all. We've had an awesome day. All right. A few announcements. We do have Art and Science of Mind with Reverend Rainbow on Mondays. It's going to be a hybrid class. Also in April, we got like 15 fundraisers. We're going to be moving. That new energy's going. So guess what? The flow is about to start happening. All right. We've got our ongoing events. We've got our healing, religious trauma, and monthly grief group. All right, in meditation. For anything else, please, 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 please tune in. Look at our website, get on our Facebook group, get into our community groups, have the discussions, ask the questions, talk to myself, talk to anybody on the council. Any ideas for stuff that you want to do, just know things are changing. We are getting more available. We're restructuring some things. So if you got an idea, it's just burning and itching in the back of you, come on. We got a lot of people want to put many hands to make short work, y'all, okay? All right. Look at that. I got to give me a shirt. I don't have one yet, okay? Reminder, all right? Reminder, I got to get one too. All right, y'all. Let's stand up. Let's take this in and let's get a good benediction. Let's look around. You know what? We didn't do something today. That's my fault. Look around for the room for a moment. Look at somebody and thank them for being a reflection of who you are. All right. Thank you all for being a reflection of me. Oh, I'm sorry I missed that part. All right. All right. Mitch, can we do one more song on the way out, Mitch? All right. All right, y'all. We're going to get our benediction and we get to get more Mitch. All right. All right. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it. Just the way it is. And just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. All right, y'all.
It's a crazy world we live in. Bad news all around. Brothers and sisters, if we're gonna make a difference, we're gonna have to stand our ground. Be a drop in the bucket. And a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river. And the river rushes on. Yeah, the river swells the river until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Down in Alabama, a lady boarded a bus. The driver said, "You're black, you gotta sit in the back." And Rosa said, "I've had enough." Yeah, she was a drop in the bucket, and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. And the river swells the river until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. Great Britain ruled over India, made them slaves to the goods they bought. Till Gandhi took his people to the ocean, he said, "Look, free salt." He was a drop in the bucket, yeah, a bucket in the pond. And the pond filled the river, and the river rushes on. Yeah, the river swells the river until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop. In the alleys of Calcutta, Mother Teresa lived her life. She did much more than feed the poor. She taught us how to shine our light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. 'Cause we're a drop in the bucket, and a bucket in the pond. And the pond fills the river, and the river rushes on. Yeah, the river swells the river until the power can't be stopped. What becomes a mighty ocean started as a drop.
Thank you.